Hello, I am Regdrin.
And, yeah, this is some other guy.
Who are you?
I don't know.
Well, this is Wild Fang, and apparently bad things are happening.
Oh, absolutely. On the plus side, this is a beat-em-up where you always know when you've actually downed an enemy.
Yes. And this is a tracked mode where the strategy is apparently to just press random buttons and hope things work out.
This does not work in this game. It didn't work in Ninja Gaiden, and it's not going to work here.
I wonder if it's the same engine.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same hardware.
Yeah, because the gameplay has some fairly distinct similarities, which we'll go into as we progress.
Might have helped if we actually played through Ninja Gaiden Arcade.
Are you sure you want to put yourself through that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, let's begin. I hope this is enough credits.
I don't think it will be. Okay. This is Wild Fang, otherwise sometimes known as Tecmo Night.
By Tecmo, of course.
And yeah, this game uses a lot of the same sound effects and some of the same game mechanics as the arcade Ninja Gaiden game.
Yes, such as the jump grab, the having no neutral jump.
Yep. And the fact that player 2 is a palette swap of player 1.
Yeah, well...
So, this game came out in 1989, which was the same year as Final Fight, which is why not many people have heard of Wild Fang.
Oh, that monster that bursts out of the ground? Yeah, if you happen to be standing there, you will probably fall into the pit and die.
Yep. And there are only 2 extra lives in this entire game.
You get 2 extends. There are no score extends. Also, just in case you didn't notice, for some reason, yeah, in this game you knock the heads off your enemies and you get items from their skulls.
Yep.
I'm sorry, you collect their skulls as items.
Yep.
Also, 2-player mode has a lot more enemies than 1-player mode.
Which is why it's actually possible to 1cc this game.
Well, I actually did see a 2-player 1cc. What they did was they both stayed in Tiger mode and stacked on each other. Nothing could reach them.
I see.
But yeah, the main special mechanic to this game is the change button, which allows you to switch between riding a tiger and riding, apparently his name is Smoke Man.
Yep.
Why is he named Smoke Man?
Beats me. I didn't make the game.
Well, when I first saw the gameplay, I thought to myself, does this giant really know what's going on? He's going into this barehanded in a setting where all the enemies carry weapons. He understands that this is a fight to the death and not a friendly boxing match, right?
Yep.
Then I saw the effect that his attacks had on enemies and, well, okay, never mind, he understands just fine.
Yep.
I'm kind of surprised that this game didn't have more fame, if for no other reason than the ridiculous violence.
Well, like I said, Final Fight came out the same year.
Yeah, well... The boss fights are significantly easier in 2-player, though.
Yeah, because there are always 2 dudes, right?
Yes, even if you go in as a single-player playthrough, there's always 2 bosses.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, that dude in the background, that's the final boss.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how the end of stage bonus works. I think it might be linked to how long you go without transforming into something. Well, that guy wasn't too smart.
Yep.
You can't knock that down yourself, by the way. It takes a monster attack
Uh-huh.
to do it.
So yeah. The monsters are giants, which was why you need the help.
Yes. There are several games where it's kind of dubious as to why you're the only one who can save your people or whatever you're trying to save.
Yes.
In this game, it's entirely believable.
Yes.
I mean, look at the size of your guy and compare it to all the monsters here.
Yeah.
That you're an ordinary human being and, well, yeah.
Yeah, the thing that Final Fight really offered that was different in beat-em-ups was that Player 1 wasn't just a palette swap of Player 2.
Oh yeah, the different character selection.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fairly innovative for its time. But also, it had some pretty tight controls.
This game
Doesn't.
It has potential problems.
Yeah, most of the time the controls work okay, but sometimes they act clunky, and sometimes I just find myself losing inputs.
And sometimes I wish I had an actual jump attack.
Yeah, that's another thing Final Fight had over games like this. The variety of available actions.
Should we do Final Fight next?
As much as I am interested in the idea, it doesn't strike me as being quite ridiculous enough for this channel.
Oh, okay. I'll find something.
Okay. Now, there are bombs all over the place. I don't know how they got here, but...
Look, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah. Now, the advantage of each side is fairly obvious. The Tiger Morningstar has better range, and, well, Smokeman deals better stun to melee enemies, and his jump throw is much better.
Ah.
But something that's a big difference between this game and Final Fight and similar is that no matter what your attack is, it can't hit more than one enemy at a time, which means that unlike more modern brawling games,
And some older ones.
enemies stacking on each other is the worst thing that can happen to you.
Yep. Yeah, in Double Dragon you could punch stacked enemies. Oh hey, boss.
Right.
Boingy.
Boingy, boingy.
Those bombs, by the way, have a much larger blast radius than they look like they do.
Well, they are bombs that are as big as you are.
And one thing I liked about the Godfather open-world crime game was the fact that explosive weapons had a damage radius and a larger stun radius. So that even if you didn't actually hurt a guy with them, they would still be dazed or knocked over or whatever.
Oh, there's something else that this game did which surprised me.
Which is?
It reset your score between continues.
Well, that sometimes happens in older arcade games.
Yeah, but it's fairly unusual, especially for games which were meant to be credit feeders.
Well, I think that the point of shame was first instituted in Final Fight.
Oh, really? Okay. So Brawlers may have actually introduced that idea. Unless there's some shmup that did it, which I was not aware of. I wouldn't be surprised.
No, shmups tended to reset your score, too.
Yeah. I guess I was too used to stuff like Total Carnage.
Here's King Kong.
King Kong. We got through it fairly cleanly that time, but when there are other enemies on the screen,
bad things happen.
Bad things happen. We were lucky that time. We should probably mention the dragon a bit more as well.
Okay, the dragon is a super mode. It kills everything in one hit and you're invincible.
Yeah.
And that's it.
The bottom of the screen sort of bills the three of them as three equal participants in this game, which they are definitely not.
The title screen bills them as equal participants.
Yeah. The title screen lies.
Oh yeah, life ups. Don't rely on those. This isn't Final Fight.
Aside from being random, it takes 2 or 3 of them to recover from one hit.
Yep. Oh yeah, another problem is that you can't punch enemies on higher elevations.
Yeah. If you position yourself correctly, it's possible with the Morning Star, but the angle is really weird.
So, we were talking about why people didn't know too much about this game?
Go on.
Well, we've already been talking about the controls and, yeah.
Yeah, well... Which is too bad, because this game has some ideas that I really enjoy.
Well, actually, I think there's a better arcade game out there we can do that also involves some heavy transformations. I just need to look up the name.
Okay. Well, by all means. Also, the jump grab is extremely finicky in this game. You will look like you're right above an enemy, but it'll miss somehow.
Yep. Oh, by the way, if you hop off an enemy you've jump grabbed and onto another enemy at the right spot, you can do chain jump grabbing.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch.
Like so.
Yeah. One thing that another thing that I like about this game is that some of its music tracks are really fun to listen to.
Well, Tecmo was never a slouch on music.
Also of note is that each end of stage jingle is different for each round.
Yep. And there are 5 stages, by the way.
Yeah. This isn't a super long game.
This isn't Total Carnage.
No. Although the attract mode is probably bloodier.
Well, let's not get too far on that. Oh, I know what you're thinking of. Never mind.
Yeah. By the way, I have, aside from this, recorded a 1cc, one-player run of this game. And for that I'm going to use just captions, because I don't feel comfortable just talking throughout the whole thing on my own. It feels weird.
Never felt weird to me.
Well, maybe you're just more comfortable talking to yourself.
I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to my audience.
I guess I'll go with that. Oh, the whole stacking is dangerous thing also works for you if you're doing 2 players. Ouch.
Well, there I go. Yeah, unless, by the way, unless you want to do co-commentary with me on Transformers Devastation.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, no thanks. No thanks. I am looking forward to that series, though.
God, it's not like the game is, like the girl who loved Power Glide.
Say what?
Look up that episode.
Okay, fine. Although I'm not sure I want to.
Well, I'll be talking more about the silliness of the original Transformers once I get back from being on the lam, as it were.
Uh-huh. It's fine, I understand. Well, you just take that swing there. Yeah, go ahead. Also, despite how it looks and the effect it has on enemies, getting caught by a bomb either deals no damage or so little damage it doesn't even move your life bar.
Indeed.
Which is... I find that odd in a game as unforgiving as this one, and I only recently realized that we missed a dragon pickup right there.
Ah, well...
We gotta move. We gotta lure him in. Because the best way to deal with these is the jump grab.
I think I despawned a boss.
Oh, well, okay, that works too. Yep, we definitely despawned a boss. So good for us.
Yay?
Not so good for the game. Well, I've talked about my impressions of the game and what I enjoyed. What about you?
I like the punching parts.
So you're not so much a fan of the tiger?
Not really. I like the punching parts.
Is that all you have to say?
Well, the thing is, I was a fan of the arcade Ninja Gaiden, actually.
Okay.
But the thing is, this game actually feels a bit more finicky than the arcade Ninja Gaiden game did.
And I think the Ninja Gaiden came out first.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Arcade was actually the first of the Ninja Gaiden games.
And it did not play like the later ones.
It did not.
I would love to see a remake of that game, though. It was hilarious. Alright, these guys are scary.
Yes, because they are big.
Well, no. Well, okay, yes, they are big, but those black-skinned ogres with clubs are very quick with their attacks.
They are very aggressive.
Well, not only that, but their attacking animation is shorter than that of previous versions.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm not a fan of in Techno beat-em-ups is that they tend to have a very limited moveset.
Yeah, well, in this case it's expanded a little because of the transformation, but there's still only attack and jump.
Yeah, to give you people an idea, the original Double Dragon characters had a larger moveset than all of your forms in this game combined.
I think they might have had more moves than Final Fight characters.
Actually, no.
No? Okay.
In the original Double Dragon, our heroes didn't have a clear-out move.
Yeah, I know they didn't have a clear-out move, but they had stuff like the backwards elbow, the headbutt.
Well,
they had the grapple.
Actually, you might be right. Yeah, if you want games with a huge moveset, play Streets of Rage 2 or Final Fight 3.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 2 was something special. Would you be interested in playing Streets of Rage Remake with me sometime?
Told you I was.
Okay then.
But there's one arcade beat-em-up I'd like to do first, as soon as I find out what the name is.
Okay, sure. So you have fond memories of that one, huh?
Well, I've never actually played it before, it just looked interesting.
Okay, well...
I'll have to give it a try first.
We'll see how it goes. Do not approach those guys like I did. You have to let them come to you and sort of catch them with a punch as they reach melee range.
No, big guy.
Yeah. It's worth mentioning that transformations give you invulnerable frames, which is probably the main reason why they're limited by items.
Okay, let's not die at the same time like we did last time we practiced.
Yes, when you see, when you continue in this game, it goes by a checkpoint system.
Like in the Ninja Gaiden arcade game.
Yeah.
However, being in 2-player mode bypasses it.
So this boss is a pain.
What you need to do is hit it in the front a whole bunch until it's wounded, and then do something nasty to it.
Yes. Problem is you need to get close to it first, and it's pretty good at preventing that. Oh, look at that! That's something that I'm glad I was able to show off. If you take a very precise amount of damage, you're reduced to just your guy, and it's, despite all of the cutscenes and poses showing off their swords, the sword is pretty awful.
Yep. Okay, you found the sweet spot. Or someone did.
That was you.
Okay. So now we need to just take off its horn?
Yep. By punching it. And there we go.
Goodbye.
Well, thank you for humoring me by playing this game with me.
No problem. Though remember, I get next pick.
Okay, sure. Fine. I'm also disappointed that the ending screen is exactly the same with 2 players. It should show the red guy here too.
Now I'm reminded of the ending screen of Super Mario World. It says, when you're playing as Luigi, if you beat the game as Luigi, the ending screen still says, the princess was saved from Bowser by Mario, Yoshi, and his friends.
Poor Luigi.
Yep.
Well, I see that we're still in the days of pseudonyms.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the thing is, the cutthroat scene in the 80s... Well, that was a Freudian slip. The arcade scene in the 80s can be very cutthroat. Like, there are some Sega developers who recount the days when the Yakuza was sometimes called in to help poach arcade developers.
Wow. Wow.
Well, the thing is, the Yakuza would get involved in that sort of thing because arcade parlors were classified as entertainment establishments along with things like pachinko and all that sort of stuff.
Well then. We just learned something disturbing.
Well, you just learned something disturbing. I already knew about this.
I was talking about the audience.
Oh, right.
We do have one of those, I hope. Also, thanks to hello and goodbye.
Yep.
We cannot get through the day without those two.
And Kenny Duck.
Kenny Duck. Oh, these credits are slow.
Yep. Directed by Strong Shima.
I wonder if that's the Japanese equivalent to Strong Bad.
Who knows?
Directed by Tecmo.
Well, that is kinda true.
Yeah. Whew.
Well, that was certainly a game.
I hope you enjoyed watching this. I enjoyed recording it, and I hope you did as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, by the way, as for your violence comment, that wasn't unknown in 80s arcade games.
Mm-hmm.
Because keep in mind that Chiller came out in the 80s too.
Oh, right. I wonder why no one ever talked about those games as...
Well, they definitely talked about Chiller.
Okay. Also, our score was horrible because we continued a lot.
Uh-huh.
And the initial controls are clunky again. I wasn't able to get your initials in properly.
Well, that's life.
Yep, you are now Ua. Or Sa, or whatever.
Well, I guess we'll be seeing you next time.
Yep, later.
Okay,